The final patch for Baldur's Gate 3 marks the end of an era in gaming, partially because of what a fantastically realized game it was, but mostly because its level of success could never really be replicated. I hear a lot of people saying that if developers just made games in a similar way that they made Baldur's Gate 3 or Fallout New Vegas or Black Myth Wukong, that the industry would be a lot better off. The reality of game development, though, isn't that simple. When it comes to Baldur's Gate 3, there's a lot of really unique factors that it had going for it. First and foremost being that Larian Studio was never really a big developer, and besides Baldur's Gate 3, has only ever made games for their Divinity series. The only real deviation from their strict classic RPG style being Divinity Dragon Commander, a real-time strategy game with elements of a political sim and card game features in a very Risk sort of gameplay loop. It's really cool, and I always recommend checking it out. Getting back on topic, Baldur's Gate 3 had everything going for it. It had perhaps one of the most detailed and expanded universes in modern media as its source material, had an incredibly generous alpha phase where players were able to help them refine the game to the nth degree, and in a funny way, benefited from a really muted reveal. Keep in mind that Baldur's Gate 3 was revealed before E3 at the presentation of Google Stadia. And we all know where Stadia ended up. Time and time again, we see amazing games released that get loads of praise, with some claiming that it'll set the standard for video games going forward. And time again, we see that that does not happen because it's simply not possible to create a standard for something as complex and creatively driven as video games. Sure, we see games borrow features from each other all the time. Minecraft is the most successful game ever created, and as a result, we've seen survival and building elements injected into almost every single game that's come after, whether or not it makes sense. The indie development scene works a bit differently, though, as more often than not, smaller studios or developers can devote more time and resources towards experimental and passion projects wherein they try to emulate elements of their favorite games. As with many passion projects, though, the expenses more often than not come out of the developer's pocket rather than those of big financial backers. For every breakout indie success story like Schedule 1 or Lethal Company, massive comeback stories like No Man's Sky or Fallout 76, or wildly popular games from small or unknown studios like Astrobot or Baldur's Gate 3, there are years and years of games that range from massive flops to major success stories. Rather than being concerned with what game will set any sort of arbitrary standard, I say that the real definition of success is always going to be the same no matter what game it is. That players have fun. Like and follow for more and check @followertoshi on all other socials.